People, Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, and I hope you're all doing well and safe. Now at this point, I've done a video in relation to what's happening with Saliba, and at this moment in time, or at least it looks, unless a miracle happens, he will not get to play in the KLOPP de France, which, you know, was a significant landmark in his career, his early career. He played in the other final. Obviously, he's French. It must have been lovely to. It would have been lovely to play in that competition. Now, many people will point the finger at Arsenal, and a lot of Arsenal do a lot of things that frustrate people. But like I said in that vid, I think we're within our rights to do what we're doing, especially if an agreement can't come to play. Sympathy for Saliba and Saliba alone. Potentially have to be wary how what we're doing or what the disagreement could affect potentially the next young player that comes that we wish to buy. But Arsenal have, I wouldn't say hit back, but they've announced their own, they've come out with their own article, I assume, to follow up on what St Etienne is saying. And I might as well just read it out. It says, further to the news that William Saliba will not be extending his loan at St Etienne, we have the following statement. Throughout our discussions with St Etienne, our aim has been to protect the welfare of William Saliba as well as the interests of Arsenal Football Club, while honouring the terms of the loan. Despite the loan ending on June 30th, we were willing to find a way for William to play in the French Cup final on July the 24th. Despite having no contractual obligation to do so. Of course we don't, but you know, we told him to stay there for a year and we wanted to do it. And it said, as William is returning from injury, we asked that St Etienne follow a clear training path with William in close collaboration with us to ensure he is fully fit for the start of next season. And you know, he's had a couple of knocks this season. When he has come at Arsenal, a lot of it has been to do with sort of injuries and stuff like that when he has come during this season. So I mean, if St Etienne are not following the path that Arsenal are giving in relation to our player and staying clear of injury or whatever our medical advice is telling them, then again we're within our rights, people. To our surprise, we were unable to reach an agreement. This plan, which was proposed by our medical experts, and we are simply not prepared to risk the welfare of an Arsenal player. Exactly. If he gets injured in that cup final, we're not being compensated, and we miss another player, you know, and that would be something very much Arsenal. It said, to our surprise, we were unable to reach an agreement. Like I said, this plan was proposed by our medical experts, and we are simply not prepared to risk the welfare of an Arsenal player, especially someone with the potential Saliba has. While it is not our primary concern and ultimately not relevant as our training plan was not accepted, we also expected not to be financially disadvantaged by extending the loan. This was also not acceptable by St Etienne. We know this is a disappointment for William, but he understands we are working to protect his long-term interests and those of Arsenal. And of course, you know, it's where Saliba's got to be a bit mature. I would feel upset and offended that being part of the team, you know, being at this team for a couple of years, it would have been the perfect send-off potentially winning that, and it would have been the perfect send-off playing in it. But I think Saliba understands that, you know, Arteta wanted you to play. Clearly your clubs can't come to an agreement. So your manager next season wanted you to play. Clearly Arsenal wanted you to play. We have to protect our interests because, again, if he gets a major injury in that cup final, he's got 16 appearances. We're eligible to pay 2.5 million at a time when we have financial issues to St Etienne. So it appears that while we never know the finer details, they didn't appear prepared to waive potential fees that we might still owe to them if he completes certain things. Obviously, in relation to what we're trying to do in relation to keeping him fit and preventing injuries or his rehab from injuries, it's clearly not being done to what we want. So again, Arsenal are in their rights to do this. And I actually like that Arsenal have kind of stood firm and had some balls. And realistically, if you're not agreeing to our terms, then we're not giving you what you want, and Saliba will not be coming back to St Etienne. For Saliba, it's disappointing. Like I said, man, he deserved that at the very least to play, but it's out of his hands. And I think at least he knows that, at least for management concerned, it wasn't Arteta who was doing this. So there should be no... I know people be concerned about, you know, how it could affect Saliba and his attitude towards Arsenal going forward, which I don't think is the case. Arsenal are fully within their rights. And like I said, man, the most telling part is the end paragraph. We're protecting his long-term interests and those of Arsenal, and that is exactly what we're doing. You know, either waive the fee that will be due to you, collaborate with us in relation to what we're asking you to keep our player fit, and you can use the player. If not, this is the conclusion that is drawn. There's nothing more to add on this, people. I've spoken about William Saliba in 2 videos now, and there's nothing more to add. So yeah, man, check out the Saka video. Apparently he might be signing a new contract. Check out the Mkhitaryan one. You lot know in a few hours we'll be playing against Norwich. You know I'm good for those reviews. Yeah, I might not get the reviews or whatever the other people get, but you know, we've got the consistency here. So yeah, man, thank you for watching again. Comment, like, subscribe, and do the rest. People, DG.